Um, Hello, my name is Juan Fleites. I'm um, I'm officially on month 3 in Full Sail University. I'm in section 2 of Mr. George Stewart's Fundamentals of Physics class, and this is my podcast project. My podcast topic is going to be is an experiment called the hot experiment. The purpose of the experiment is to prove the electric current flowing through a piece of aluminum foil was being connected to both sides of the battery. Um, the materials that we're going to be using are is AA battery, aluminum foil, and an Xbox controller. Um, the physical principle of this experiment is how you can have potential energy turn into electrical energy by connecting the piece of aluminum foil to both the negative side and the positive side of the battery. And the way I'm going to prove this works is by um, first I am going to test out the battery that I have on an Xbox controller. And if it turns on, it's because there's still energy in the battery, which we'll later check again to see if the electrical current of the aluminum foil actually did its job. Alright, so right now, the battery that I'm using, I just put it in the Xbox controller, and as you can tell, it's got battery. That's why the light is flashing, because it has battery. Then I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to perform the experiment. Alright, first I have to put one side of the battery connected to the aluminum foil, and then put the other side and connect it. It burned me actually. Well, I didn't know it would burn me. I'm gonna get a piece of paper to help me hold it because the electrical flow is so hard that it burns. Okay, so I connect the negative side of the battery to the aluminum foil, and I'm going to use the piece of paper to help me hold it. And then I'm going to put the positive side on, on the aluminum foil as well. Just like this. Okay. Getting the piece of paper ready so I can actually hold the battery because the heat is so intense I can't hold it with my own fingers. Alright, we should be fine now. Okay, as you can tell, I have the negative side and the positive side both touching. And I can feel the heat still with the paper that I'm holding it with, which means that it's getting really, really hot. And what's happening right now is the flow of electrons found a circuit to go through, which is the piece of aluminum foil, and it's creating heat as proof of the electrical current being active. And this right here itself is proof of potential energy turning into electrical energy. But I'm going to keep on holding it. And if this was actually working, when I put the battery back into the Xbox controller, the Xbox controller should not turn on, because if there is actually heat being created, that means that the battery has to be creating heat, which wastes energy, which would then not allow the controller to turn on. So if the controller actually doesn't turn on, then that will prove my experiment worked. And I'm just gonna hold it right here until I feel the heat completely off. It's very, very, very intense right now. Okay, this should be about ready. It's very hot. I'm gonna test it out. Okay, put the battery. Alright. As you can tell, yeah, the battery does not go off. Even if I press the button, the light of the controller isn't turning on, which means that by me creating the electric flow with the battery, there was heat being created, which then wasted the energy or the battery that was in the battery life. And that is my experiment. Now for a quick recap to explain you what actually happened. One piece of aluminum foil went on the negative side of the battery, and the other piece went on the positive side. And it allowed the electrons to flow through the aluminum foil from one side to another, creating heat, which is a form of energy. And what this proves is potential energy being transformed into electrical energy. And that is it. Thank you. Peace.